go. And I'm going to share my screen. Boom. All right. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah, let's get a thumbs up. Probably yes. All right, cool. Cynthia, thank you for the head nod. All right, so you probably already know this, but today we're going to go through online leads basics. So if you don't know me yet, I am Dr. Dan Sundberg, the new lead scientist for Team Fast, stepping into Ben Rojas's shoes. A big part of my role is helping Team Fast and helping all of you get more effective with converting online leads, get more higher quality leads into our system, into our pipeline, and putting more opportunities in front of everyone, but then also helping everyone to turn more of those opportunities into sold homes. Okay, so today, what we're going to go through in the next 55 minutes or so, a few goals that I want you to be able to walk away from here with. So first, I want you to know how online leads work and where they come from. I want you to know what the lead opportunities are here at Team Fast. You might already know about a lot of these, but there might be some that you don't know about. I want you to know what you can expect in terms of success with online leads. I want you to know how to be successful working those online leads. And I want you to know also what the requirements are to earn those online leads. And that's something we're going to spend a lot of time on because with the shifting market, there's shifting requirements from our lead partners as well. At the end of this too, I want you to feel excited about the opportunity in online leads. This is a tremendous business opportunity. So I want you to walk away from this feeling really excited about it and also feeling confident in your ability to convert online leads into clients. And I want you to do, at the end of today, what I want you to be able to do is apply this immediately. So like Elias always says in the Monday, Wednesday, Friday group coaching, my success, our success is measured by the extent to which you apply what you've learned in this training. So I want you to go out and do some of this stuff today, whether it's signing up for leads, whether it's accessing some of these resources, whether it's getting in and updating the online leads that you already have, right? Okay, thank you everyone for who's jumping in and joining us. If you haven't already, please make sure and mute yourself when you jump in because I didn't turn that setting on. So, all right, what are the lead sources with Team Fast? There's several of them, and they kind of come from different places, but there's a few really big ones that you're going to encounter the most. So the most common ones that you're going to see are OpCity and Ojo. So when folks are coming in, you get the onboarding packet, and then at some point in that onboarding process, you're asked if you want to sign up for online leads, and OpCity and Ojo are two of the starting point lead platforms that we have access to, meaning as long as you complete those basic entry requirements of doing the buyer's consultation, meeting one-on-one with one of our coaches, then you can get access to those lead sources. Zillow Flex is another lead source that you can get access to. That program has a higher level of entry. You have to have closed at least 2 deals through one of those other lead sources, through OpCity, through Zillow Flex, through Ojo. A part of that is the spaces are much more limited with Zillow Flex. Zillow Flex is also very, very rigorous in terms of the standards that they hold us to for converting those leads. So when we're bringing someone onto that program, it's really, really important that we've got evidence that, all right, yeah, you can operate in these programs, you can close deals, and then you can get into the Zillow Flex leads. The commonality that all of these have, Ojo, OpCity, Zillow Flex, is that these are all new leads coming from the internet, right? And we'll talk a little bit about where exactly those come from so you can understand the consumer experience. But then a separate bucket of leads are database leads. You've heard Elias talk about this a couple of times over the last few weeks, but these are leads that exist in Follow Up Boss that are either leads that you can access going into. And we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on that today because in the coming weeks, we're going to do some deeper dive sessions on Follow Up Boss and really get into the nitty gritty on how to use that more effectively. But know that there are leads, about 7,000 leads in the Follow Up Boss database that you can access, get into, and these are people who have raised their hand at some point in the past saying they want to buy or sell a house. Additionally, we have a team of inside sales agents, ISAs, as we call them, Sam and Kim, who are in the meeting today with us, who spend, Elias, database days. That's exactly it. We're going to be doing database days, learning how to mine opportunities. Our ISAs are doing the same thing every day, 6 to 8 hours a day, going through, making calls, creating opportunities. And once they get those opportunities, they then pass those off to agents who are within this lead program as well. So those leads are a little bit different because those are some of the longer term nurture leads. But again, like Elias has been saying, if someone came in a year ago thinking about buying a house, they got exposed to the market a little bit and realized, oh crap, this is tough. I don't want to do this. I wrote 5 offers. They all got rejected. There were multiple offers on all of them. We're pulling back. We're backing out. We don't want to do this anymore. Fast forward a year, this is a different market, and it's a lot easier for them to be able to have opportunities to get into a house. So some of those conversations are easier now, which means the opportunities that Sam and Kim, our ISAs, are generating can be more fruitful for you because those people have been seasoning and nurturing for the last year, thinking about buying a house. All right. So what is an online lead? We talk a lot about this, but it's really important to understand the consumer experience before they actually get to you, so that you can know and understand how to actually approach these leads most effectively. Pretty much all of them, whether it's Zillow, Opcity, Ojo, Trulia, any of these different lead sources, they basically have the same life cycle. So people browsing the internet, or maybe they're on Facebook, and they're searching homes for sale in Sacramento or homes for sale in Oakland. And they get online, they're looking up properties, say, ooh, I like that one. This one's pretty. And they fill out a form, just like you see here, right? Name, email, phone number, and then a little message. I'm interested in 123 Main Street. And then they click contact agent or email agent or schedule a tour, or whatever the call to action is. And then that pops up in the online lead system. So if it's ZillowFlex, if it's Opcity, if it's Ojo, it goes to their call center where they do some very basic vetting. Are you interested in this property? Are you looking to buy or are you looking to rent? And then they send it off to you as a referral opportunity. So where you're catching that person in their journey is that they're sitting in front of a computer, they're looking at a property, they're interested in a home, and then you call them. So an important mindset piece for this is that this is a little bit of a harsh truth, but they're not interested in you yet, right? They're interested in the property. They're interested in touring homes. It's our job to make them interested in you, right? To make them interested in us as realtors, to demonstrate the value that you can bring to their home buying process, to help them understand the home buying process. So just knowing going in that you have that hurdle to overcome can really help you better approach that lead, knowing that they want to get out and see homes. You can use that as an opportunity to build a relationship and bring them on as a client. Okay, so why are online leads great? Why are we spending so much time talking about this? We talk at Team Fast a lot about various means of business generation, whether it's social media, whether it's open houses, whether it's door knocking. Online leads is another great pillar of your business. It doesn't replace those things, but it is a fantastic supplement. And online leads can be a great kickstart to your business, right? If you get signed up, oftentimes the leads start flowing through in that same week, right? You'll start getting opportunities presented to you. So it can be a good way to kind of get a quick flow of business coming through to you. They're also relatively consistent, right? I'll put a gigantic asterisk by that because in the last 2 months, we've seen lead volume fall off quite a bit from all lead providers, Zillow, Realtor.com, Redfin, Opcity, all of these different places. They're having their lead volume fall off because interest rates are high. It's the exact same thing that we're seeing in the rest of the market. But the lead volume is relatively consistent. There's usually a similar number of people searching for homes for sale in a given area. The average closing time frame for these is often fairly short, right? We'll sometimes have people that come through that say, hey, if I saw this property and I want to make an offer on it. That's way less common, but usually it's somewhere around 4 to 8 months is the average buying time frame. You for about half of the leads, and the other half winds up being 8 to 12 plus months, right? So there's a pretty big chunk that are longer term nurture leads, and then there's a pretty good chunk that are some of the short, quick fire kind of leads. And then the last one is that there's real buyers and sellers in here. So at my last brokerage where I helped to run our leads program and did a lot of the agent training and management there, we sold around $100 million a year in property in Northern California, Southern California, Florida, across different geographies from online leads, just from online leads, $100 million a year from converting these online leads. So there are real big opportunities in there to have that be a pretty serious pillar of your business. Okay, so it takes work. It's a different approach, but it's worth learning because it can be a really big opportunity. Okay, So what should you expect as you're getting in and you're thinking about, I want to dive into online leads. I want to become more of this program. How do you get signed up? Quick chat response here. Show of hands if you're on video. How many of you are currently signed up to receive online leads from one of our platforms right now? That's Ojo, Opcity. All right, cool. And in the chat room, if you don't have your video on, can you give me a yes or a no, or I'm not even sure? We got some. Okay. Maybe. All right. Cool. So it sounds like there's a pretty, looks like pretty good mix. Most people are signed up, but some people aren't yet. So awesome. If you're not signed up, it's part of the onboarding process. You have to go through all of Molly's onboarding checklist process. It's one of the last steps in there. And then you complete the buyer's consultation, video buyer's consultation, and then do a one-on-one with one of our coaches. And then you have the ability to get set up for Follow Up Boss, Opcity, and temporarily Ojo is down, but in the near future, Ojo as well. All right, second common question, lead flow. What should you expect in terms of lead flow? The basic answer to this is it depends. It depends on how actively you engage with the system. The way that all of these work is that if you engage with the system the way that they want you to, the way that we want you to, if you're receiving ISA leads, you're closing deals, you're going to get more leads. If you're not engaging with the system, if you're not updating leads, if you're not closing deals, you're not going to get leads, right? That's the harsh reality of it, is the more you put into the system, the more you follow the rules, to follow their rules and engage and hit those metrics and everything, the more lead opportunities that you can get. So some of the top performing agents who are really hitting this are getting between 20 to 40 leads a month, right? 20 to 40 leads a month, new opportunities that are coming in. Not all of those are people that are going to transact, but enough of them are that can be a really serious boost to your business. Okay, third commonly asked question, how do leads come through? Usually they are coming through on your phone, right? They all have apps, they all have notifications. So when you get set up for that platform, make sure you're installing the app. Make sure you're setting a separate ringtone for that app. Make sure that you're using the system so that those notifications pop up. And if you're missing them because it turns into white noise, turn off notifications for all the other stuff that you don't check, right? So that those notifications on your phone come through and you can see those, because the vast majority of the time it's on your phone and it's beneficial for it to come through on your phone because you want to be able to call and engage that lead immediately. All right, fourth commonly asked question, how soon will I close a deal? Answer to that is it depends. Again, we've had people that have come through that have said, hey, I'm interested in 123 Main Street. I want to write an offer. That happens. That's super rare. I wouldn't bank on it, but it does happen. I would say the average time frame for most folks when they really get serious into online leads is somewhere between 3 to 6 months for their first closing, right? And that's if you're diligently working, if you're working your way up into the system, following up with your leads and doing a good job with them, right? But that can be a lot faster than a lot of other methods for lead generation too. And again, it can be a nice supplement for everything else if you know, on the 5 other days of the week that you can't hold open houses. All right, and then the last question is what types of leads will come through? And this again is going to be a kind of it depends, but an also everything. So you're going to have the best success in these programs if you cast the widest net possible, at least to start with. So it's going to be, $1 million houses. It's going to be people who are buying and selling, right? Really good, serious, high quality leads. It's also going to be lands deals. It's also going to be mobile homes. It's also going to be first-time home buyers who don't know if they're qualified yet. It's a whole variety of people, right? It's the internet, right? So you're going to get everything that the internet has to throw at you. So your best success is going to come from this if you engage with as many of those leads as possible. You're working your way up in their system. You're also just creating more business, more closings, more opportunities for you. One thing that I would say is something that I'll often see folks who are newer to online leads making a mistake of doing is being too choosy too quick with the types of leads that they're receiving and the types of leads that they're rejecting. So unless you're getting a closing or two a month out of online leads, I would recommend having a very wide net for a while in terms of the types of clients, the types of lead opportunities that you're saying yes to. Okay, I want to take a quick second to go through our ISA leads. So like I said, we also have an inside sales team, Sam and Kim, who spend a bunch of times on the phone, working with leads, following up with clients, generating these opportunities of people who were searching 6 or 12 months ago and put a pause on that and now said, yeah, I'd be interested in talking about buying a home or selling my house. they go through Follow-Up Boss. That's how you're going to see those leads. And you're going to see a notification that looks like this, where it's going to pop up in your Follow-Up Boss for a specific geography. And then you can pop into the app and claim that lead. If you don't have Follow-Up Boss installed on your phone, you don't have your system set up in Follow-Up Boss, you're not going to see these. Okay, so it comes through Follow-Up Boss, and that's going to be the most effective way for you to get access to these. And for the ISA leads, what I would say with these, especially too, it's especially important to keep your Follow-Up Boss up to date. And we'll talk a little bit more about that as well, and communicate with our ISA team in the engagement that you're getting from these leads. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. Let me pause here for a minute. Can I get a reaction in the chat box or on video? Anyone have any questions yet? It's all right if we pause for a second and ask any questions. The chat, if you have no questions, you can just shoot and say, no, we're good. We can keep moving, Dan.
Hey, Dan, I have a quick question.
Yes.
Sometimes I'll get a notification like super randomly, and it's like, you know, Edward Smith wants to check out 123 Main Street, and it comes through Follow-Up Boss, but there's like no information attached to that lead as far as how to contact them, or what they're looking for, or why they were assigned to me. When that happens, who should we contact to find out more?
Probably me, and take a screenshot because I don't know what that is.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. That sounds like something a little bit unusual. So if you see that, take a screenshot and contact me through Slack. Thanks. Okay, cool. Thank you, Cynthia, for allowing me to have a quick tea break. All right, so let's get into the program requirements. All of these have strings attached. There are, I got a question here in the chat box. We'll pause on it. Is there a script the ISAs are using when talking to the leads? I listen to every call and follow-up before the call, and leads don't seem to have much time to really speak. So George, you're our Yelp guy. I know you'd ask about scripting and process and everything. So our ISAs have been in the call center business for many, many years. They have a variety of scripts that they use. It just kind of depends on the situation. So it's kind of a question asking, but then also driving towards follow-up and appointment, right? The goal of the ISAs is to get the leads to a point where they're interested enough to then pass them off to you, right? So our goal with the ISA team is to generate more opportunities. If for those of you who remember your high school science classes, there's type 1 and type 2 errors, and type 1 error is when you say no when it should be a yes, and type 2 is when you say yes and it should be a no. We want to say yes to more clients, right? We want to say yes to more opportunities. And in doing that, there's going to be some people in there who should have been no's, right? But if we present more opportunities to you, you are always going to be the best local expert, the person who knows your market and has the highest chances of being able to have a quality conversation and convince the person that they should, start jumping into buying a home, convince the person that, maybe instead of looking in this city, they look in that city, or flex their criteria or whatever. So long answer to your short question is, their goal in the scripting is to get the person to a point where they say, yeah, sure, I'd be interested in talking to your realtor. Tomorrow at 5 o'clock, yeah, that works.
Got it. Thank you for answering that. Yeah, I just asked because every lead that I've won so far through Follow-Up Boss, I literally listen to every audio, read every note beforehand, just so I know how to angle it. And I feel like most oftentimes, like recently, I started getting just automatically added in my calendar, that leads calendar. And then I noticed like yesterday, there was a lead that I guess based on the conversation from what I listened in the audio, the ISA was just kind of like not really giving them a moment to chat. And then the lead was automatically put into a buyer consultation appointment. I read the notes from when they texted back through Follow-Up Boss, and they're like, wait, what appointment? So then I feel like it's kind of setting the wrong expectation right off the bat, because then they're attaching the notes in the GCal and then also inviting the potential prospect. So I'm just like, wait, you don't really put everything you discuss with them in the notes and whatnot.
Like that, I guess I would ask, did the appointment happen? Like, did it lead to enough of an in
Oh, I called. It's just I think there was a disconnect with the prospect because the prospect didn't even realize it was an appointment, but it's coming into both of our calendars as if it's a buyer consultation. But I listened to the call and it's like a minute, and they're just kind of throwing questions at them, kind of like going down just a question list, not really making it personable. So it's kind of like churning and burning the lead from my perspective a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, I hear you, and I'm definitely open to feedback on scripting. Again, what I would say is our goal is to get the person to the point where they say yes to an appointment with you, and let you do as much of the relationship and rapport building as possible. Because if a client starts going too deep down the lines of, well, tell me about this neighborhood, tell me about the home buying process, tell me about this, tell me about that. And if we have to keep saying, you know, oh, I don't know, that's a good question. Our realtor can answer that. I don't know, I don't know, I don't know. Then that starts to degrade the relationship. So really the goal is get as close to a, you know, yes, I want to talk to a realtor who's a local expert and can answer all my questions, and then set a time for a callback. So again, specific scripting feedback is definitely welcome, and we can chat offline about that. But the philosophy on it is get them to you as quick as possible, or with as you know, as much vetting as we can to get them to you. Yeah, good question. Thank you. All right, so let's jump into program requirements. So the strings that are attached to earning online leads, because the way to really think about this too is that online leads are not given, they are earned from all platforms, right? There's always strings attached to these, whether it's Ojo, Opcity, DilloFlex, or the Follow Up Boss ISA generated leads. So first requirement for every platform that we're going to have is if you claim a lead, take action immediately, and try to take action within less than a minute, as quickly as you can. If the lead comes through, if it's an ISA lead and you've got a follow-up call for tomorrow, send them a text that says, hey, you just talked to my assistant, Sam. Looks like I've got a callback set for you tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'm looking forward to talking with you. If it's an Opcity lead, call. If it's an Ojo lead, call, send a text, but do that follow-up quickly. And those programs are watching and they're rating you based on how quickly you're taking action. Update the lead on that specific platform. So what does it mean to update a lead? All right, so this is a requirement that is super, super important across all of these. And again, all of these lead platforms are watching and rating these things. And if you've ever wondered, why don't I get as many leads as I want? Oftentimes it's because the algorithm that they use has bumped you down to where they're just not sending you as many leads. So for new leads, actioning it immediately and then logging the notes in their system, whether if it's Follow-Up Boss, you're going back to Follow-Up Boss and logging it there from one of the ISA leads. If it's Opcity, you're going back to the Opcity app. If it's Ojo, you're going back to the Ojo app, but you're updating it there and then add notes and the outcome of that interaction. If it's a old referral, someone that's in your database, right? You got an Opcity lead 2 weeks ago or a month ago or whatever, or an ISA sent you a lead a week ago or 2 months ago. Every week, still go through and make an update, right? And what I would recommend for this is just set it up a calendar appointment on your calendar. Fridays at 2 o'clock, I update my leads. And you just go through all of your referral partners and just give them an update. No contact. Still waiting on them to finish their approval. They're still planning on buying in January. We're writing offers. Whatever it is, make an update in that system, because again, all of these systems are watching and measuring based on that. So updating at least weekly for the old ones and for the new ones immediately. For Opcity, for example, this is what their update system looks like, right? You can get in there, you have a button that says update status, and then you just add a little note in here. And you can progress them along if you talked with them, if you met with them, if you're writing offers. Sarah, how detailed should you be with the updates? What I would say is as detailed as is necessary, right? If you're using Follow-Up Boss, I would recommend getting in the habit of being more detailed, because that is a CRM for you, right? That is something that you can use to manage your lead flow and manage your clients in the relationship. For Opcity and Ojo and those other ones, I would say just be as detailed as a sentence or two really is fine for those. The important thing is that you're doing it. For Follow-Up Boss, there's actually our ISAs are reading that, and then you should be going back and reading that too. So in a month when you call them, you can say, oh, that's right. We talked about this thing. And then in Follow-Up Boss, this is what this looks like. You just get in, you've got the section to add notes, and we can, type in, talk to them, and we're having a buyer's consultation, log call, right? So getting through and actually adding some notes and updating them. Okay. Thank you, Sarah, for the question. That's a good one. So a couple other program requirements. Oh, Carla, yes, hand raise. What do you got?
Hi, I have two questions. The first one for City, when you get the lead, and then you're on the phone and you have a conversation with the client. And when the conversation is over, I get the overdue for the update. So when I get the lead, then I put the lead on the speaker and update at the same time. And then I continue the conversation because I feel like I spend like a good, not a lot of time, but like a good 2 minutes, on the phone. And then when I hung up, I'm like, wait, what? It's overdue. I'm in trouble. Like, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to do it right away as soon as I pick up the call?
Yeah. So I can answer that real quick. So you're fine. As long as you're updating the notes within a couple minutes of getting off the call, you're fine. They're registering in their system that there was a connection because they're still watching and recording that phone call when they connect you through. So they're going to see that you connected with that lead. And then once you get off the call, then get in and update your notes. But you don't need to worry about doing it immediately. I think their philosophy is you're overdue immediately, but it's not going to hurt your score if you're not updating the notes in real time. If you're answering the call and you're talking to the client, that's gonna help you a lot. So don't worry about doing it like while you're on the phone.
All righty, thank you. And for the second question, so for follow-up boss, I like to do notes, but then I don't tag the ISA. So should I tag them or?
Are you talking about leads that the ISA is referred through?
Yes. So every time I call and I have a conversation with my clients, or even if they don't pick up or whatever it is, I always write on the note, I called, they didn't pick up. I called, and we talk about this and that, but I don't tag anybody. Should I tag so they know, or when they go to my follow-up boss, they can see my notes?
They can see your notes as long as you're entering the notes in follow-up boss for that lead. And they can see that there's a good history of outreach attempts by you, and there's follow-up with the lead, and you're good. They're seeing that that you're engaging with them. If you've made a bunch of follow-up attempts and you say, I haven't been able to get through to this person, and you want help, then you can just do at Kim, Kimon, or Samantha, whoever the ISA was that helped. Hey, can you try giving this person a call? I haven't been able to get through to them.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yep. Thank you for the questions. Good ones. Okay, so the third program requirement, and this is going to be something that is going to significantly help you increase in the rankings for all these platforms, is update the leads, move them through, like in Opcity, for example, move them through these statuses here: met, applied, signed, closed. Move them through these statuses and update it, because what they're watching for, what they're rating you on, is that you get clients and you're moving them down the sales funnel. You're moving them closer to a close. So the more people that you're moving closer to a close, the more points you get, the more leads you get, right? So as you are getting progress with your clients, be very rigorous with updating the status. If it's in follow-up boss, change the stage. If it's in Opcity, change the status. If it's an Ojo, they have the same thing, a status marker, but make sure you're moving them down the pipeline as you're progressing with those clients, because that makes a big difference. The fourth requirement too is kind of a mindset to have going into this, is that none of these are programs for folks who want to occasionally get a lead here and there, pick and choose and kind of, get them flowing through sometimes, but other times not. If you're signing on for any of these programs, you have to decide to either do it and follow up with it and work it, or not, right? Because if you're kind of occasionally here and there, your lead flow is going to drop off, and you're going to get put in the back burner based on those algorithms. So, and it's hard to dig yourself out of that if later on you decide you want leads, right? Because again, they're watching your performance, they're watching your notes, they're watching how many leads you're claiming or even responding to. So if you're going to do it, commit to it and apply yourself to it. And then the last thing kind of similar on that is you need to continually earn your spot. So just because you've gotten access to OpCity, just because you've gotten access to Ojo, just because you've gotten access to ISA leads, doesn't mean that you have access forever, right? Again, they're constantly watching performance, and it is possible to get booted off of those systems as well. Okay. All right, let's do a couple knowledge checks. I've been talking for a while here. So in the chat box, if you have the ability to do the chat box, you just want a simple A, B, C, D. You can just type it in, hit the answer. So we're going to do a couple knowledge checks on here. So knowledge check one, you receive a lead from the ISA team, pops up on your follow-up boss, you claim it. How soon should you reach out to the lead to confirm next steps? Is it within 1 minute, within 1 hour, within 1 day, or within 1 week? Let's go ahead and see in the chat box. We've got people responding in. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Love this engagement. We got a bunch of A's. What does everyone else think? Any dissenters? A. All right. Yes. All right. All right. So A is what I would say. As soon as they get off that line, for the ISAs, right, again, most of these ISA referrals are going to be someone that wants a follow-up within the next day or so. It's not necessarily someone who wants to go out and tour a home right now, but confirming that relationship is going to help. So as soon as you get it, reach out, send that text message and say, hey, I just saw you talk to my assistant. They scheduled us a time to chat tomorrow at 5 o'clock. I'm really looking forward to meeting. Is there anything that you want to make sure that we hit on about the housing market? That's it. Okay, next one. You receive a new lead from the ISA team. You send a text within 1 minute, introducing yourself, letting them know that you'll be calling them, and they're off work tomorrow at 5 p.m. Where should you update your notes from this call? Is it A, OpCity, B, follow-up boss, C, Ojo, or D, Zillow Flex? Oh, and Elias, love the assistant verbiage. That is something I would strongly recommend all of you use. Your assistant, right? Anytime someone's got an assistant, they must be important. So you're immediately elevating yourself in that client's mindset that, well, you're a busy agent, right? You're doing a lot of business because you've got an assistant, you've got people helping you, you've got a team, you've got resources. You're someone that I want to work with. All right, so we got B. What else? Anyone have any other thoughts on here? B. Okay, good, because that's the correct answer. ISA leads come through follow-up boss, and that is the system that you should be updating in. What I will say, OpCity, Ojo, even if you're getting Zillow Flex leads, I would recommend still use follow-up boss. That is a tremendously powerful system to keep on top of your leads and to manage your database. And again, like Elias said, we're going to be spending a lot more time on how you can get more deals through staying organized in follow-up boss. But I would recommend update everything in follow-up boss, but the program requires that you update within that program as well. Okay, one more. So you just signed up for OpCity and a lead comes through for a piece of land in your area. What should you do? A, reject the lead since most land buyers aren't really serious. B, take the lead and sell them something. C, ignore it since you're not interested in land and don't specialize in it. Or D, take the lead and try to follow up a couple times. What do we think? A, B, C, or D? All right, got some people responding in. Elias's keyboard appears to be broken. Okay, perfect. Yes, you are all of the right mindset. Take the lead and sell them something. One of our most successful agents in OpCity, Will Dangler, he had 15 closings in the last 3 months, and 6 of those were OpCity leads. Some of them were really awesome price points. One of them was a $60,000 piece of land. If you ask him the secret to his success, he says he'll do anything and everything. And what that means in the OpCity program is he's now getting better and better and better leads. So he's working his way up in the system. But also, a 5-star review on Zillow still shows up regardless of whether it's a $60,000 piece of land or a $6 million piece of property. A great client review still shows up. The social media post still counts. All of these things that you can do, the referrals from that person, all of that still counts. So come at it with the mindset of every deal is worth doing. Right? You just take every opportunity and you can build upon that, not just for the cash flow that you're getting, but for the foundation that it's building for your business. Elias, Jen, I had a listing from Redfin for over a year that recently closed. They had a circle of people, right? Yeah, right. So you can get listings off of these folks. Sometimes it's longer tail. but these opportunities are worth following up with, and everyone knows someone. So that's absolutely the right mindset for this. Okay, a couple of platform tips and tricks. So these are things, again, I've hit on some of these, but if I sound like a broken record, that's good, because that means that you're going to learn this and be able to apply it and be able to hack the system for all of these different lead platforms. So let's talk about OpCity first. When you get signed up for OpCity, how do you be as successful in OpCity and working their system? So the first, respond to leads quickly and accept as many as you can. So they do penalize you for rejecting too many leads. If you say no too many times, OpCity is gonna bump you down, right? It's like that friend of yours who always says no to going out. If you keep calling and say, no, I'm busy, no, I'm busy, no, I'm busy, then you're gonna stop calling them, right? OpCity does the same thing to us. Update your leads regularly. They will get released or reassigned if you go too long without updating leads. So make sure you're getting into the OpCity system. And quick chat box respond. Anyone remember, how often should we be updating our older leads? How frequently? Anyone remember this? We talked about it like 6 slides ago. At the very minimum, how often in the chat box, anyone remember, should we be updating leads across OpCity, across Follow Up Boss, across Ojo, all these platforms? We don't have a multiple choice to choose from on this one. Anyone remember? Anyone want to jump on audio? Cortez, 7 days. That's right. Shoot for once a week. What I'd recommend, just put a calendar appointment in your calendar that pings you every single week. Update leads, update leads, update leads, update leads. Probably daily is what you should be doing. But if you're doing it weekly, that's at least going to keep you in compliance with their platform. Tip number 3, move leads through the pipeline. They are directly scoring you on the percentage of leads that you're moving from lead to spoke with, to met with, to showed homes, to wrote offers, to close. So the more people that you can move through those, the better it's going to look for you. So if you take a buyer's consultation for someone who you're like, they're probably not going to be able to buy a house, but let's jump on a Zoom call and meet with them. It's great because you're moving one more person into the Met status, and that can make a big impact on your score with them. 4, start out casting a very wide net. What that means is set your boundaries, your geographic boundaries, to as wide as you can, 45 miles or more from your zip code, accept every property type as well, residential, but also land, also mobile homes, and also lease listings as well, at least for the beginning, because about half of the people that I've talked to that are interested in leasing a home have a price point where they could buy a home and are interested in buying a home and have just never thought that home ownership was an option for them, right? So there's opportunities everywhere. Cast a wide net, accept as many leads as you can and try to convert them. And then as you start getting good lead flow and your score goes up, then you can dial it in to what you want. But don't start off dialed in really narrow, because it's going to take you a really, really, really long time for you to start getting the lead flow that you want. 5th, maybe on here, use the snooze button. OpCity has a snooze button. If you are going on an appointment, if you're going to have lunch, if you're going to go for a run, if you're going to be out of town for 2 days, use the snooze button to disable your leads, because again, they are watching when they send a lead through. And what's worse than a rejected lead to OpCity is an unactioned lead. So if they send you a lead and you say neither yes nor no, then that gives you major dings in your points. So use that snooze button and turn the leads off. 6th, we actually have a lending partner who co-works these leads with us, Street Home Lending. They collaborate on some of the coaching and training resources, which I'll present at the end of this. Phenomenal resources. They are also co-working these leads in the back end. So we're going to try and get them a little bit more involved with some of our OpCity leads in the future moving forward. But there is a lender who is trying to come at it from a different angle. Use them as a resource. Use them as someone that you can go to help know where they are in the pipeline and what's going on with your leads. Cortez, yes.
I was wondering, because it seems like it'd be several lenders that call the same client. So how do we know which one is the partner lender?
So they should all be with Street Home Lending. It might be different loan officers because they've got a couple of people that work their online leads, because these guys specialize in online leads. They do a lot with OpCity. So they're really good at this, and they've got a few people that are working the leads. If it's a different like loan company altogether, send me that, because I don't think there should be anyone other than Street Home Lending that are automatically getting our leads.
I'm seeing that, Dan. So I work pretty closely with Cheyenne from Straight Home, and he'll text me saying we have a shared lead, but they're saying we made an appointment with a lender. with the buyer. So then I'll look at the financing, the lender, and it'll say a different bank, a completely different bank. And Cheyenne will say, I don't even know about this bank. I don't know why. They probably just sold it to them too.
Yeah, and the reality is, and this is where speed to lead becomes extremely important. Most people who are clicking once online are clicking twice and are clicking 10 times, right? If they're going and saying, I want to see 123 Main Street in Concord, they're probably also saying, I want to see 123 Maple Street in Concord, and I'm curious about financing options. So in my experience, it's usually because people are multiple clickers, right? They're clicking around a bunch of different places, and it might even be in realtor.com that it's coming through, and it gets routed differently. So that's where like getting on as quickly as possible, controlling the narrative, getting them with our lending partner, and getting them into your system will keep them from multiple clicking. Carly, do we have to go with those lenders? No, you don't have to go with any lender, right? You're free to choose which lender you want. What I would say is for the OpCity leads, you have an easy leg up because they're already working the leads. And you have a partner that is going to be collaborating and understands online leads. I will say it is very hard to find a lender who is willing to go through the work that it takes to convert online leads. So going with someone that's part of their business model can tremendously help you convert more clients. So again, you don't have to, but it is an easy level up resource that you can use to convert more OpCity leads specifically. Cool. Thank you for these questions. So last one, use the release or hold feature with leads that you're not working. If there's someone that you don't want to work, or that you can't work, or they're not going to buy for 6 months, put them on hold if they're a real client, but they're just too far out, or release them if there's someone that you're not going to be able to help. Because leads that are sitting in your database that are unactioned or that you're not moving forward are going to count against your stats. But when you release them or you put them on hold, they get pulled off of your stats book, and it helps you improve your score. Okay. All right, follow-up boss, platform tips and tricks here. When a new lead comes through, take action immediately. Same thing, introduce yourself as quickly as you can, like we said before. Very often, many of these leads have specific times that the ISAs have talked with these folks about getting a call back. Stick to that appointment. You'll see that they're using the appointment setting feature in Follow Up Boss as well, which will show up on your calendar and the lead's calendar. Stick to that appointment as closely as you can. If you can't make that appointment, it's okay to reach out to the lead, give them a call, send them a text and say, hey, I had something come up. Can you meet at 4 o'clock instead of 5 o'clock? But honor that appointment because that's going to be setting the relationship with that client off on the right foot. Third, again, update notes at least weekly and coordinate with the ISAs. Like we were talking about before, if you're having trouble getting a hold of someone, you can always use the app feature and it'll tag our ISAs and ask them to help re-engage that lead, but communicate back and forth through Follow Up Boss. Use Follow Up Boss to set tasks for yourself and manage leads. We're going to be talking a lot more about Follow Up Boss later, so I won't hit on this too much, but know that it is a super powerful tool for managing your database and getting more deals. And then if you cannot help that person, if you're not able to get a hold of them after multiple attempts, or if it's someone who, hey, they're 12 months out from buying, you can always send the lead back to the ISA team, tag them and say, hey, they said they're going to be buying in 2023. Can you continue to nurture them, right? So that you can focus on the hotter, more available leads and going out and showing homes and doing those things. Okay, Ojo. This one is a little bit different from OpCity. Responds to all leads, even if it's to reject. Ojo does not penalize you for rejecting leads, but they do heavily penalize if your response rate is lower than 80%. So if 10 lead opportunities come through and you're saying yes or no to 7 of them, you're going to get bumped down in the pecking order of people who receive leads. So say either yes or no to every single opportunity that comes through Ojo. Again, they don't penalize you for saying no, but they do penalize you for saying nothing. And same thing on this, update your leads regularly because they do have a pretty rigorous reassign and release program that they're rolling out as well. Ojo and OpCity are getting much tighter in their requirements for us. Lead flow nationally is down pretty substantially. There's more realtors than there have ever been in the country, 1.5 million or 1.6 million or something. And I was reading something today that said sales volume May to June was down 8%, and June 2022 compared to June 2021 was already down 20%. So there's more realtors, there's fewer deals, which means these online lead providers have a lot of people to choose from to send fewer and fewer opportunities. So they're getting very selective about who they send them to, and they're starting to only send them to people who are engaging with the platform. Okay, a couple things for success. Speed to lead, we hit on that, responding as quickly as possible, taking all leads, withhold judgment on the lead, on the opportunity. We have had some tremendous opportunities that have come through for some very unpromising looking leads. We had one agent, Danielle, if you're still on the call, you probably remember Danny, who had a land deal that came through. It was maybe a $300,000 land deal, but it turned out they closed it. He sold that property. It turned out that this person was a billionaire in China who was looking to disposition $50 million in land in California and bought $50 million worth of land over the course of 2 years through this one agent. And they were looking for an agent to vet. So that one $300,000 land deal turned into all of his kids' college fund and the retirement fund for the rest of their life. So that is an extreme example, but there's a lot of people that come through where it's a cheap little property or something that doesn't look promising, but they're buying it for grandma to move into, and they actually have a house to sell, or they got a friend who's looking for something, right? So withhold judgment because there's tremendous opportunities. Third, get the appointment, get face-to-face. Number one goal for online leads should be getting an appointment. That should be your first and foremost priority, whether it's a buyer's consultation, showing the home, but go for getting an appointment. Try to avoid putting them off, saying, oh, do this, do that, you need to talk to a lender, or, let's talk again in a month. Just get that face-to-face appointment because they are not committed to you. And they're going to go off and they're going to click somewhere else and another realtor is going to get them and then they're going to be gone. So get that face-to-face appointment. Number 4, don't give up on a lead. Right? Successful agents make at least 14 contact attempts within the first week for new leads. Call, email, text message, calling twice a day on the first day, twice a day on the second day, text message, an email, another call on the third day, another call on the fourth day. Don't give up on these online leads because it takes persistence. And then 5th, focus on rapport and relationship, right? You still treat them like a client, treat them like anyone else. You want to build rapport, you want to establish a relationship as someone that they're going to know, like, and trust and want to do business with. Okay. To wrap, I think we got maybe one more section after this, but let's do some more knowledge checks to see how we feel about this. How quickly do most effective realtors respond to new online leads? Is it A, under 5 seconds, B, under 60 seconds, C, under 5 minutes, or D, under 1 hour? Got some B, got some A, got some 5. A, B. Believe it or not, it's A, 5 seconds. Feels crazy fast, but you get a lead, accept it, call, right? Or accept the transfer for the live 3-way call. The faster speed to lead absolutely wins. Our last company, we had a call center of people who were responding to every single new lead inquiry from Realtor.com and from Zillow, not the live connects, but they were on it and they were responding to every single call within 5 seconds. So there's companies out there that are doing that sort of stuff that are winning at this. And so if you want to get in this, you got to take it real, real serious. But the upside of it is that there's tremendous opportunity there. Okay, out of 100 online leads, how many will top agents close within 18 months? If you get 100 online leads, how many of those will top performing agents close within 18 months? Is it 2 to 4, 6 to 10, 15 to 20, or 25 to 30? What do you think? How many of those 100 leads will top agents close within a year and a half? All right, A, B, run around here. Okay, yeah, it's somewhere around the B range, right? 6 to 10% is good industry average if you want to be in the top 20% or top 15% of agents closing online leads, right? You're going to be among the best of the best in the nation if you're closing 6 to 10 of those 100 leads. So mindset-wise, when you're getting into this game, know that that means 90 to 94 of those lead opportunities that you're working with, that you're getting down to the 5-yard line, are not going to turn into a closing, right? But if you can get that consistency, if you can get 20 to 40 of those people coming in every single month as new opportunities, that's quite a few closings that you're adding, right? So just in the mindset, know If not everyone buys a house with you, that is completely normal. The best of the best get 1 out of 10, right? But the best of the best are making hundreds of thousands of dollars of additional income on this. Okay. Another knowledge check. You claim a lead through follow-up boss, the ISA team re-engaged. You texted after claiming the lead and called it the suggested callback time, but you did not get an answer. What should you do next? Should you wait until the lead calls you back, send the lead back to the ISA team to try and re-engage, call again tomorrow, or call and text 4 to 6 more times over the next 2 weeks? What do we think? A, B, C, or D? All right, Cortez says D. What do we think? C or D? C or D? Okay. Yeah, so I would say D at a minimum, right? Don't give up on the leads. People get busy. Stuff happens. They need to take the kids to the doctor's appointment. They got in a car accident. There was a lot of traffic. Work was stressful and they just didn't want to talk about it, right? It's not personal, but people don't always make appointments. So if you miss one, or if they fail to pick up, try again, and then try again, and then try again, and then try again, and then try again, right? Keep going down that route, and that's how you're going to be successful with these. Okay, one more on here. You talked to a lead who asked about touring a specific property. He sounded pretty unsure about the process, and they hadn't been approved for a loan yet. What should be your next step? Should it be A, tell them to connect with a lender and give your info for them to call you back when they do talk to that lender? B, set an appointment with your lender to get them approved. C, set an appointment to meet them for a buyer's consultation. Or D, set an appointment to meet them and tour a specific property. What do we think? A, B, C, or D? Okay, C and D, C. Oh, Cynthia, switch back to D, C. All right. Cynthia and Cortez, you got the trick question, because this one, either C or D, in my opinion, would be a correct approach. It kind of depends on the client, kind of depends on the conversation that you're having with them. But the important thing is get an appointment. Get face-to-face with them or screen-to-screen with them, but get an appointment. Absolutely, that should be the goal. Getting face-to-face with new leads. Face-to-face sells the space. That's how you build a relationship. That's how you turn them from a lead into a client, right? So get an appointment with them, whether it's buyer's consult or actually going out and showing properties. I personally bias towards going out and showing properties, because then you get good quality face-to-face time with them. And that's where you can really close them as a client. Okay, so we're right about at time here. I'm going to skip through this, some of the call tactics here, except to say this is hitting on the same point. You got an online lead. Now what? What should you be saying to them? The 3 letters that top converting agents use to think about, and how do I talk to an online lead, is ALM, or appointment, location, motivation. You're talking to them, hey, you're interested in 123 Main Street. It's a great property. What time do you want to see it today? Does 3 o'clock or 5 o'clock work for you? 5 o'clock? Perfect. Is that the main area that you're looking at? Or are you interested in some other cities around? Oh, okay, you're also interested in Elk Grove? Perfect. So I'll bring some other homes in Elk Grove, and tell me, what has you looking at buying today? Right? Appointment, location, motivation. And what I'll say on that is, even though we are at the end of our time here, you are on Team Fast, which means you have an insane amount of resources to learn more about this stuff. I'm going to post a document through the Slack channel, through the training and resources Slack channel. Unless, Cynthia, there's a better place that I should put it, please let me know. But it's a document that has resources for you to learn how to build and hone these skills for it. So you have the Slack channel, and an Obsidian Ojo Slack channel, where you can ask questions, or you can have discussions about these online leads. We have a partner that lender pays for us through Rise, where they do a tremendous amount of coaching on how to be successful with online leads. They've got like 15 classes a week that is available to you. Oh, yes, Cynthia, will do. Obsidian has its training program. You've got Thursday scripting and role play session where you can dive into scripting on online leads training. You've got the Wednesday level up classes. You've got Elias's group coaching 3 times a week to talk about this stuff. And then you can always direct message me on Slack as well. So you have a tremendous amount of resources to learn more about this. And then coming soon too, we're going to be doing our database days of learning how to really dive in and get nitty gritty on some of the details of this stuff. That's all I got for you guys. Thank you all very much for attending. Thank you for your time and your engagement and your energy here. So go out, sell some homes, get some online leads, and let me know if you have questions, okay?
Fire, Dan. Really, really great job, man. This
Thank
was
you.
incredible.
Yeah, thanks, Elias.
Thanks. Bye.
Hey, Dan, if you can get the recording to Cynthia so she can throw it in Mighty, man, this is incredible.
Yep, we'll do
Thanks,
that.
bud.